John is the Mississippi Northern District Transportation Commission. He's rivaling major authors with his book. I'm sure it's on the New York Seller's best-selling list now. Good morning, John. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Paul. It's good to be here. Let me just start with the conversation with roads and bridges. Roads and bridges.
Yes.
Roads and bridges. Seems like that's a word that we don't get to speak about enough.
Where is our infrastructure money? Is it trickled down yet, or what do we look like?
Well, we're not looking as good as advertised. They want to make it look as good as they can coming out of Washington D.C. So it is real, but it's about $160 million a year right now, and it's going to go up to about $200 million a year over the next 5 years. So It's real money, but it's not enough to keep up with inflation. I mean, we've had a flat budget of about $1.2 billion for the last 12 years. If we would have been keeping up with even the modest inflation, we'd have been up to about $1.6 billion by now. So that $160 million will take us up to about $1.36 billion, and that is still behind inflation. And we're going to stay behind inflation unless we can get the state to come through with some serious help.
John, I think one of the things, Commissioner, that people don't understand when they see this infrastructure and what is targeted in Mississippi, they put money that we've already gotten or money that's already allocated with that total to make it look like it's a lot better than it is. Is that what we're talking about?
All right. Very good point.
I want people to know that. Yeah.
When they use the big numbers, they're using old and new money combined, and they're also usually adding 5 years combined. So when you see 5 years of old and new money, it looks really good. But when you start breaking it down, it's a little humble.
I do want to ask you this, though. There was a story out there this morning about MDOT needing some employees because they were getting to the point now where some of the work is having to be delayed or postponed because we don't have enough people employed, I guess, out on the roads and other places as far as MDOT's concerned.
Absolutely. We're having a real employee crisis right now, and we're trying to figure out how we can address it because we're short on engineers. We're short on junior engineers. We're short on senior engineers. We're short on people that drive trucks. We're short on people that can cut grass. We're short on people that can do just about anything, patch potholes. When we were in the ice storm last year, I realized we had one county that only had 4 people. This year they have 3 people. And we had one county borrowing from another county trying to get some help to do some shoulder work. We're in a real need for some labor, but our pay scale is kind of tough to compete with.
Is that available for people who want to look at this? And again, are some of these jobs, or all of these jobs, or any of these jobs that come with health insurance and PERS and things such as that?
Yeah, the great thing we do have to offer is we do have insurance. We do have a great retirement system, and there's some benefits to working for us. It's not just about the money, but another thing that people forget about when somebody's in the low level of the pay scale, let's say they leave Dollar General and they've been making $11 an hour, then they come to work for us for $11 an hour. Their take-home pay is actually less than Dollar General because we take out the retirement. So they're not paying a retirement fee. So once they start, their actual take-home pay drops, and they don't understand how come I may have got $1 an hour raise by coming to work for the state, but my take-home pay is less.
I agree with you. The only thing that you can top that with is the opportunity for advancement. If that's one of those jobs that they choose that has some opportunity for advancement. Let's talk in the limited time we have here about some of the bills, too, because are there any bill? I know that there's so many. There's some that are challenging your $80,000. There are some that want to put more. There's a myriad of bills. Could you spotlight a couple that may affect the taxpayers in the state?
You're mentioning $80 million on the lottery fund?
Yes, we're talking about the lottery money, because there are people going after that. But
I don't know how you go after any infrastructure money for roads and bridges. I mean, the only reason our budget has been able to stay flat for 12 years is because of the lottery money, because we've been losing money due to the lack of funds going into the fuel tax. And so we're actually losing money. The legislature came in, thankfully, with the $80 million lottery fund that kind of brought us back to to stand pat, but that's not near enough for what we need to address the inflation and the growing needs that we have in maintenance and construction. So yeah, any bill that starts talking about taking $80 million from us, it actually needs to be $80 million and growing. Right now, it's $80 million flat. One of the big criticisms on the 87 highway bill was when they added the fuel tax, they didn't account for inflation. Well, the $80 million, while we're grateful for it and grateful to the legislature for finding that compromise and getting it to us, it doesn't account for inflation either. So we're doing less with that same $80 million every year.
What do we look like as far as what? And I guess this has to maybe in concert with people on a national basis. You guys across the nation have got to be talking about what's going to happen. I notice you want to talk about a 3-year plan, but in 3 years from now, where are we going to be with more electric vehicles on the road? Because there's a major push on that. Somewhere down the road, somebody's got to start talking about this, and how do we supplant those gasoline taxes?
Well, sure, and that's exactly why we need to start talking about roads and bridges. I heard I don't want to, point any fingers, but I did hear the governor, lieutenant governor, and the speaker of the House all on the radio, the first week of session, and absent from their lips was roads and bridges. We hear it all on the campaign trail, and then here we are. We talk about everything but roads and bridges. So we need to have that conversation, and we need to get real serious about it real fast. And when you start talking about it, we can't build it on good looks and charm. I mean, it's real money that's talking about, and it's tax money.
I understand. Is there any plan out there? You talk about a 3-year plan. Is there a plan out there to replace those dollars with? I haven't heard of one because nobody.
No,
it's too sensitive to bring it up.
You're exactly right.
Because anybody's got a Tesla, they don't. The only reason they bought that electric vehicle, for the most part, is to escape the gasoline prices.
Well, they don't want that Tesla riding around on bad roads. I can promise you, after they spend the money on that.
I understand that, but the crazy thing about this, neither Republican nor Democrat wants to bring up how to do that and how to impose taxes or some type of fee.
Let's do it. I mean, I don't have any taxing authority at the commission, so what we have to do.
What is the 3-year plan, John? Tell me what the 3-year plan is.
Yeah, it's a 60-page document that we approved on Tuesday. It covers basic maintenance, the overlay schedule for the next 3 years, the overlay on the interstates, the safety projects that are due, the operational projects. It does talk about some long-term stuff, but our long-term priorities that we have in that plan, we can't fund them. I mean, we have a list of about 30 priorities, but we can't fund the top 1, 2, or 3. I mean, we are funding basically continuation of engineering, some preliminary work on some of those jobs to try to prepare them to construct. But we don't have the construction dollars to start really getting into that list like we need to get into that list. And that's why we've been in concert and talking to the House and the Senate members, and I think they're aware of that, and I think we're getting ready to see some movement on that. We have the surplus money that is one-time money, and I think they're going to make a move in that direction to try to kind of get us off dead center and start moving the ball forward. But like you said, Paul, that would only be one-time money, and we need to start talking about what is the long-term solution and how we fund this in perpetuity.
Only a few seconds left here, but your top priority for your district, if you had the money, is what?
Top priorities are 15, 55, and Highway 7. And, you hate to stop the list somewhere, but that's what you got to do.
Well, we're out of time anyway, so we get you off the hook with that one. We'll talk more in the next visit. We thank you, John. Appreciate it very much. Transportation Commissioner, Northern District, John Caldwell.